Folks, welcome in to sportsbookreview.com. We're going to go over college basketball conference preview. Today's conference is going to be the Big 12 conference with the big man on campus. Favorites typically to win this conference, Jeff, we always look towards the Kansas Jayhawks. What can we find this year? Is it going to be the Kansas Jayhawks again, or is somebody like Baylor or West Virginia going to sneak up and take them from behind there?
No, I think it's definitely Kansas's conference to lose. And, I hate to go, kind of square and take them, but listen, this is a down year in the Big 12. There's not – Iowa State's down. Texas is young. Baylor's, decent, but they always seem to fall apart. I just think Kansas are a team that if everything comes together – and that's the big thing when you're having a team like Kansas or Duke or some of these big teams. They get so many transfers and young players that it's really just a cohesion question. But I think with Bill Self and the reins there, they should be fine. I got to tell you, Donnie, Devontae Graham to me – is a better pure point guard than Frank Mason, I think. I think he's really going to do a fantastic job. You look at Malik Newman, he's eligible now, comes over from Mississippi State. And you also look at the guard depth they have. Svi McCulloch, LeGerald Vick. They bring in Dedrick and KJ Lawson, the brothers from Memphis. They're going to be huge. And then you bring in Billy Preston from Oak Hill. I got to tell you, Donnie, I'm a big recruiting guy. I love Billy Preston out of Oak Hill. I think he is a pure big. He's not a big kid, like as far as bulky. He's just long and lanky, but he can shoot. He has great moves, great low post acumen. He can shoot on the perimeter. Just a great mix of youth and veteran play on this team. Plus, they play at Fog Allen, which they never lose at. There's just not a lot of other teams in this conference I'm very high on. And with Bill Self there, the mix of youth they have, I'm really big fan of them. I actually took them at 14-1 to win this conference, and actually 14-1 to win the whole thing. I think if a team's going to dethrone Duke, I look for the added bonus that Kansas has, that depth, that veteran presence that maybe another team doesn't have. Look for that to be big. They get some of the transfers to come in and help as well. I really like Kansas, Donnie.
Jeff, talent all over this conference. Obviously, we know Kansas being the big dogs there, West Virginia, Baylor, Iowa State, but some bottom feeders there, Texas, Oklahoma, TCU, looking for a little bit of better, season, so to speak here. Give us a dark horse that we might be able to look at who can actually win this conference here.
The dark horses that you'd look at, they're usually going to be like the 7 to 10 teams, but the 7 to 10 teams just aren't very good. I like Texas. I think at some point this team is really going to flourish under Shaka Smart. I'm a big Mo Bamba fan, Matt Coleman as well. But I'm going to go with a team that Donnie was no stranger to us last year, betting in the NIT and just what they did in the NIT. TCU. How can you not look at Jamie Dixon's crew and get excited? They bring everyone back. Jalen Fisher's back to really command the offense. And I love Jalen Fisher's game. He's a pure point guard. He doesn't care about scoring. It's really just about setting his teammates up. They bring back the big Vladimir Braziansky. He's 6'10". He can go out and shoot the basketball. They have some depth with Alex Robinson and Kenrich Williams. Plus, they know how to win. They were able to go and have such a great run in the NIT. Look for them. They really have that big chip on their shoulder this year, Donnie, in the Big 12. And in a down Big 12, I think they're a team that you really have to look out for. Can they go in and dethrone a Kansas? Can they do it? They're going to have to make sure that they, do the little things, rebound, not turn the ball over, good possessions. With Jamie Dixon at the helm, with Jalen Fisher leading them, I think they're a real team that I'm going to look forward to in March. They'll be ranked at some point, and they're going to get a little payback for getting spurned last year.
Typically a wild conference, and obviously a lot of good athletes here. Jeff, give us a betting angle we can maybe make some money off in the Big 12 this year.
Wow. I think it's betting on the press Virginia, that press Virginia defense. It's just so tough to play against. Just how they turn people over. And for me, Donnie, a lot of the time, most years, their scoring margin is very high. They're blowing teams out. Look for early on them to really take it to teams. Javon Carter's fantastic. They're going to have to deal with Essa Med getting suspended. That's concerning. But the press Virginia, it's run at such a high level. It really bothers teams early on. They're always going to lead the country or be close to the top of the country in steals. Look for early on really betting against them in big out-of-conference spots to just pound teams. They're always a team that has a high scoring margin, and they just really perturb opponents.
Folks, that's been your Big 12 college basketball conference preview with the Big Men on Campus. For everything college basketball, check out sportsbookreview.com.